So recently somebody asked me what eyeshadows I use and then asked if I would do a full makeup tutorial, and I thought that was really flattering because apparently based on the way my face looks they want to know what I use. So I figured I'd do it. I'm not going to do a tutorial because obviously I'm already wearing makeup, and me, you watching me on a webcam put makeup on, it's not going to help you. Everything I do is fairly straightforward. If you have any questions, you can always YouTube, like how to do a cat eye or how to contour, but I'm not going to go through any of that. I'm just going to show you what products I use. I'll tell you what shades everything that I use are. I'm really pale, so if there's any pale people watching this or anybody at all watching this, maybe that will be helpful. I don't know. It's just really hard to find products like foundation products for pale skin that aren't too orange, or even if they look good at first, that don't oxidize throughout the day and become orange, which is the worst ever. So anyways, yes, this, I don't use this every day. I'm sorry, I can't breathe, I'm sick. Anyways, this is a primer. I don't use it every day. It's by In Peace Set, which is from Target. Most of what I'm using or showing you today is drugstore. There's just a few things that aren't, that are more high-end. I would love to use all high-end makeup, but I'm poor, so I've dedicated my life to finding the best of the best for the cheapest of the cheap. So anyways, like I said, this is from Target. It is a calming pre-foundation primer. It's green. It has kind of a minty feel to it. It's really cooling. Helps your foundation stay on better. Fills your pores a little bit. I really like it. And it is really calming for redness, which is great because I have really sensitive skin. So whenever I like wash my face, it becomes really red. So using this before my makeup helps. And then foundation, I use Revlon Color Stay, which is the best drugstore foundation in my opinion. I love it. I use the one for dry to normal skin. They make one for oily skin as well, but my skin is quite dry, so I use this. I use this in 150 Buff. I think it's the second lightest shade, or it's the second lightest shade that they make that I have ever found. They have 110, which is a shade lighter. It's ivory. I use this 150 Buff all over. I have the ivory, and I typically will use that to highlight like under my eyes, the bridge of my nose, my chin, and forehead. But lately I've been using to highlight this NYX concealer. It's in a shade Porcelain. And this is a little bit heavier than the foundation, so I really like the way it looks because it gives you more of a bright pop under your eyes and all over. The only thing I don't like about this is that I guess because it's a little heavier, I think it's been making me break out a little bit, so I don't know, but it really looks good, so I'm trying to see if maybe my skin's just getting used to it. I have pretty sensitive skin, so but this is what I've been using. I'll keep using it unless I keep breaking out, and then I'll stop. For spot concealer, this is one of my few non-drugstore products. It's Stila Perfecting Concealer. Sorry. And I really like this stuff because it's really creamy. It covers spots really well without being obvious. It blends into your skin while still covering what you're trying to cover. Unlike a lot of concealers, I feel like it's like, well, I went from having a really red spot on my face to having a really white mismatched spot on my face, which honestly isn't even better because it probably looks cakey and gross if your skin's anything like mine. So Stila Perfecting Concealer, this is shade A. It's like the lightest because there's no letters before A. So there's that. This I think is my most exciting find in recent times. It's a NYC Color Wheel Mosaic Face Powder. And I use this, you can see, obviously this is quite brown compared to me. but I use it to contour, and I'm really excited about this because I have always had such a hard time finding products to contour my face with, because most bronzers, and even cream bronzers, or even liquid foundations that I've tried to use to contour are either just too dark, or they're too orange. And this, and not to mention, so many bronzers are sparkly, and I'm not okay with that. Like, it looks so bad. So this I really like because it's quite light, and it's quite sheer when you put it on, but it is buildable, so you don't have to worry too much about, you know, it being so obvious. But when you do build it, it creates kind of a grayish brown, more natural shadowed look, that looks, you know, not gross and obvious. I've just been really, really happy with it for contouring, and it's cheap. It's like $3, I think. So yay. And then for eyebrows, I use two different things. I alternate between them. The first one is this ELF brow kit, and I've been using this for quite some time. I really like it because it really defines your brows, and is very, very bold. The only thing I don't like about it is, well, and I'll show you, it's actually a gel and a powder, but I only use the powder. I don't ever use the gel. The only thing I don't like about this, though, is, you know, obviously I use an angle brush, and I don't know, it kind of falls. If you have too much product on your brush, you get that dusty fallout. And also, if you get outside your brow line, which I tend to do, it's kind of hard to wipe it off to get that, like, extra product off your skin, and so it looks a little, ugh. And I get really frustrated with it because usually I'm in a hurry, which doesn't, you know, help me when I have to fix that. So that leads me to this NYX brow marker in a medium. This kit is like taupe, I think, but I don't have a sticker, so I don't know. This is in a medium shade from NYX. It's a brow marker. It's a little more expensive than the ELF, but I really enjoyed it because it has a very fine tip. And it's really easy to go so fast with this when you're filling your brows in. And if you get it on your skin, if outside of your brow line, it, like, as long as you get it real quick, it just wipes off with your finger. You don't even have to use like water or makeup remover or anything. You can just clean it up real quick. And I mean, I think I'm actually wearing this right now, and I think my brows look pretty well defined. I think they're usually, when I use the powder, they're a little bit bolder, but like I said, this is just so convenient and really caters to my laziness, so I enjoy it. Yes, and then, oh, I skipped blush. I've been using this basic CoverGirl blush in shade 110, Classic Pink. I like it, but this is actually, I'm using this because I ran out of what I really like, which I don't know what it is. It came with like an ELF big eyeshadow palette. It was this, it was a very similar color to this, but maybe a little bit lighter. But this I like too. Obviously, I'm wearing this now because it's what I have. And this does well. I just thought the other one was a little better for my particular skin tone, and it blended better. And then as far as eyeshadow goes, I always use this NYX Wicked Dreams palette. Looking at it, I use like 3 or 4 of the colors that are in here, which there are many more than that. But anyways, I don't know. It's a good palette. It's really versatile for if you ever want to kind of go outside the lines a little bit. As far as color goes, I don't know what I meant by that. But anyways, what I typically use on an everyday basis, I start out with this taupey color. You can't really see this, so I'm not sure that me pointing at them really matters, but this is a kind of nude taupey shade. I do that all over except for in the very inner corners. This kind of just creates a shadow effect, a more defining of the lid. Then I take either, usually this dark brown or this gray, and I go in the corners and in the crease and define that a little bit more. And then I take this color here, which is, it looks really white, but it's actually kind of light gold, pinky, shimmery gold color. And I start in the corners, and I really just do that all over on top of what I've already done and kind of blend everything. And then depending on the day, I sometimes will take this gold, this kind of true gold, and then go over everything else. It gives it a little bit more of a defined, a little bit more warmer tone to it, I suppose. So yeah, that's what I use eyeshadow-wise. Very neutral colors. I've been trying to stray outside of that box and, you know, being inspired by spring to do like green eyeliner and bold colored shadows, but I don't know, I just stick to what I know most of the time because it's easier. As far as liner goes, this is Maybelline Masterpiece liner, and it's really shitty. It's actually quite horrible, but I found a great use for it. Anyways, it's very, I mean, when you first get it, when you first use it, it'll work pretty well, but it's a marker, and when you're using it over eyeshadow, I think the eyeshadow kind of gets on it and it just sort of ruins the felt tip. But now I use it when I'm doing my winged eyeliner. I use it as sort of a template, as a like I go over it with the liquid liner, but it's really nice because it goes on really, really light, so I can kind of mess up a couple times or just make sure I get both of my eyes looking even as far as the wings go before I go over it with my liquid liner, which this has like rubbed off so much, so I'm not exactly sure what the product is called, but it's from NYC, another really cheap product that's really great. I like this liner a lot because it's a liquid black liner. The brush is pretty good. I think I'm able to get a really sharp line with it. But what I really love about this liquid liner is that it dries totally matte. It doesn't have any sort of a sheen to it. I don't like liners that have a shine to them because I feel like the way the light hits it, it like sometimes will make your eye shape look different or look weird, or make your eyeliner look uneven. I don't know. I think that might just be me, but anyways, I really like a matte liner, and this is matte, so I use it. And then I use an eyelash curler, just a basic eyelash curler, and then I use CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume. And this, I think, is just the original formula. I really like this mascara because the brush is interesting because it has very, like, I don't know if you can see that, it has very short plastic bristles. And at first I thought that was quite strange, but then I realized like what that does is it makes it to where you're not getting so much product on your brush, and therefore you're not getting much mini clumps, I guess is what I'm trying to say, but you can still build really good volume and length with this brush. So it's very defining, and I don't know, I like it. I have been using it for a really long time now. And then that's pretty much it. Aside lips, I don't really wear a whole lot of lip product on a day-to-day basis just because I'm lazy and I don't keep up with it. So it starts to look, you know, uneven and kind of flaky or whatever, and that's just not attractive, and it bothers me. So, but what I do use every day is this lip balm. It's Jack Black. It's in like the men's section at Ulta. I think these are $7, but they last really long, and they're amazing. I was on Accutane for a really long time for my skin, and it just totally dries you out. My lips were cracking and bleeding and constantly chapped, and nothing helped but this stuff. Like, I used it constantly, and it really works miracles. So I use this every day just as a basic lip balm. And then I'm actually wearing this lipstick right now. It's NYX Butter Lipstick in Candy Buttons. And it's just a really like nude kind of pink color. So it's really easy to wear. It's one of those ones where when it starts to fade, that's okay. You don't have to worry about it because nobody can really tell. But it just, I don't know. It makes you feel fancy because you have lipstick on, I guess. But anyways, those are all the products I use day to day. Like I said, I don't know if that was really like any help to any of you, or if you cared, or if anybody even got this far. But if you have any questions, you can definitely ask me. But anyways, that's it.